We are seeing landlords exit the sector. Partially, there will be some because of age. There will be some because of legislation, taxation, capital gains. There's a whole myriad of things. And if you're sat there as a landlord, you've had an awful lot of changes thrown at you in a relatively short period of time. You also watch what's happening in Scotland at the moment, where obviously you've got caps on rent and you've got moratoriums of people being able to leave. And, you know, for a lot of landlords, they're sat there thinking, I've seen a property probably gone up 20% over the COVID period. I'm at a certain age. Is this worth the hassle? Yeah. Now, the problem that happens with this, and everybody sits there and says, oh, yes, but the commercial landlords will take over. The institutional landlords broadly will find more properties coming back in the sector. You don't want the lots of the same properties. You don't want lots of two-bedroom flats. You need a mixed, diverse. You need bungalows. You need houses. You need semis. You need detached. You do need apartments. You need dog kennels. You need lots of different types of accommodation, and a lot of that mix is provided because of accidental landlords or individual people that maybe inherited a property off their parents that they've rented it out. Once you lose that, there's no, you're making things more difficult, and you're not providing the quality of stock that you need out there. So we need a mixed environment. There needs to be more incentives. There needs to be an encouragement there. The one thing we do know is it's not whether or not we maintain the same number of people in the sector. We need more. Yeah. We need more. There aren't enough properties. We see tenants that are in tears. You probably see the outcome, where they are their 13th property and they've been 30th on the list every single time.
Absolutely. And the rents
only one
huge.
Person can get it, and they're getting frustrated, they're getting angry. And that's because it's nobody's fault. There just aren't enough houses out there, and there aren't the incentives to do that. And I think incentives is a great way to keep landlords in the market.
I think it's a really good point you make there, Nathan, because, if you revert the whole sector to a strategic approach to housing, in terms of an institutional investor, of course their natural is, how do we make the most money out of this? So let's build a block with 50 units in it of dog kennel size. Whereas I like that thought, actually, that the diversity of the private rented sector, because they're humans, they're you and me, and what you like is not what I like, and vice versa, you do get that balance and mix of different types of property. And I think that's a really important point that we miss, that we mustn't just encourage the institutional money. We need to encourage the you and I to keep investing in that sector.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think there has to be a recognition that, yes, it hasn't been ideal, especially in the last 4 or 5 years, where a sector that has come in and basically plugged the gap for inadequacies in housing policies for decades, and has plugged that gap, has been, as I call it, the Dunkirk kind of little boat syndrome, okay? And now it's, they're seen as not fit for purpose, and they're getting a hammering for it. But, they've done a great job up to now to plug that gap. And yes, it's been, there needs to be more done to take the weight off of the shoulders of the individual landlords.
There is, and I mean, let's go really brave. Let's be really brave. If we took a strategic thing and we said we want to keep that stock there, really, what are the rules around passing that on to family relatives? Obviously, you got your inheritance tax issues. You've got things like that to bear in mind. But actually, ultimately, if you're seeing that stock sold, it doesn't help anybody.
You're watching The Property Cast, powered by the award-winning Total Landlord Insurance.